Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellen and I'm a Nigerian YouTuber based in Canada. This reintroduction is actually very necessary because it's been 2 years since I last posted on this channel, and I want to say a very big thank you to my OG subscribers and to my new subscribers. Please do not make it your last time here. Please do hit the subscribe button. In this video, I'll be talking about my birth experience in Canada, my CS experience, and this video is going to be in 3 parts. It's going to be about how I found out I was pregnant, the pregnancy journey all through from the first trimester to the last trimester, and also my childbirth experience in Canada. Also, I'll be talking about how much it cost me to have a baby in Canada as a permanent resident. I could have easily made these videos into separate videos and posted, but I don't think it is necessary making separate videos when it's been 7 months since I had my baby. So I just decided to put everything in one video and talk about everything. So that was why I said the video is going to be in 3 parts. So it's going to be like a chit chat kind of video. If you're interested in this video, please do not leave. Sit back and keep watching. Welcome back. So I'm going to be starting with the first part, which is how I found out I was pregnant. So I would like to go back to the 23rd of December of 2023. That was actually the day I found out I was pregnant. 2 weeks before this day, I'd had a consultation with Clinic Aesthetics. It's like a skincare company. What they call that thing? Esthetician in Canada here. I'd reached out to them, had issues with my skin. I had acne, I had black spots, I had hyperpigmentations and all of that. So I reached out to them and I wanted to get like a procedure done. So we had a consultation online, and during the consultation, the doctor that spoke to me was like, "Oh, are you pregnant or planning on getting pregnant anytime soon?" Like, I was so sure. I was like, no, I don't plan on getting pregnant anytime soon. So we had a consultation. They gave me recommendations. I knew the procedure I was going to do and things I was supposed to do before the procedure. So they wrote me like a couple of products. I decided to order those products from Nigeria since I had other things coming into Canada in 2 weeks. 2 days before the products came, my husband had told me that I now nap in the afternoon. I didn't just think much of it. It didn't make any, there was nothing to worry about. So on the day that the products came from Nigeria, I was trying out, because I got wigs. So I was trying out the wigs, and then I was sending streaks. You guys know what streaks are. I usually send streaks to my friends on Snapchat. So I sent to my friends, and one of them was like, I was trying to let them see what the wigs looks like. But one of them was like, "Oh, my face is swollen." And before then, everybody had been telling me, "Oh, Ellie, you're gaining weight." I went to my Flow app. This is an app that I usually use to track my flow. And then I realized that I did not input the details from the last month. That was when I started panicking. I told my husband, I was like, "I think we need to get pregnancy test kits." And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know, but we just need to get this test done." So on this particular day, was like, okay, I think this was on the 22nd of December already. And I was like, no. When he wanted us to go get the pregnancy test, I was like, no. I was scared. So I decided not to get it anymore. So on the 23rd, I went to work. And then my husband was supposed to come get me at work. So when I was on my break, I did not know when I slept off. And that was so unlike me. It is something I will never do. I actually never nap in the afternoon. I don't. Right from when I was a teenager, I never nap in the afternoon. So that was actually something to make me think. And then that was when I told myself. So I called my husband at work and I was like, "When you come get me from..." Give the mic, Kendall. When he comes to get me, then we have to go get the pregnancy test kit. On our way back, I could not even get myself to go grab the test kit myself. I told my husband to go buy because I was super scared. Again, there's this thing my husband usually do. We usually write our plans for the new year down the previous year. We'll talk about it to ourselves. We'll tell ourselves, oh, this is what I want to achieve this year and all of that stuff. We had already done it for 2024. We had written everything out in December of 2023. In fact, we had already spoken about it, everything we wanted to achieve in a new year. So at that point, I already registered to driving school. I already applied for a car. I was like, oh, this 2024 is going to be my year, because I feel like I'm finally settling in Canada, because I came 2022 confused. I didn't know what I was going to do. And it finally felt like I was actually getting there. We had all of these plans. And then when we got home, I took one of the tests because it got 5 packs of it. And when I got home, I went into the bathroom and I just took one of it. I was like, it's not like I'm going to be pregnant anyway. Put it on a stick and I just put it there on the slab waiting for the result. And then when I peeped, I saw the strongest 2 lines of my life. Like, I still cannot forget that moment. I remember every time. I cannot forget that moment. That was like, I felt like my whole world was crashing. I would not lie to you. That was exactly how I felt. I know how everybody on the internet, when they find out, oh, they're pregnant, they're happy, they're crying and all of that. What I felt at that instance was, I don't want to say sadness. I don't want to be ungrateful. I don't want to sound like I was ungrateful to God, because I'm super grateful to God and I'm so blessed to have my daughter. But at that instance, everything felt like my world was crashing, to be honest, because I was just thinking, I was like, no, it cannot be real. I took another one, did another one, and then another 2 strong lines. In fact, it was so thick. I still have those test kits. It was super thick, like strong. So I stepped out of the bathroom and I gave one of it to my husband. He did not even know what it meant. Like, he did not know what 2 lines meant. Was like, what is this? I'm like, are you asking me? Google it now. So, and then he came back to me because I just left his presence and I just went to sit somewhere, and then he was like, are you serious? I feel guilty because I feel like I stole that moment from him, because he couldn't be happy knowing how I felt, because it was as if I was taking 2 steps forward and I was taking 7 steps backward. That was how I felt at that time, like when I'm finally getting my life together. So I just kept on telling him this was not the plan. Like, we planned, okay, we'll start having babies. We'll probably try to get pregnant. We'll start trying end of 2024, and then we'll have a baby in 2025. But you see, I'm sure he was just there looking at us and shaking his head like, you don't know anything. Because I found out I was pregnant, and I was just very down on this particular day. So I was like, I need a moment to myself. So I stepped into the other room and I texted one of my friends, Amma. I was like, I want to talk to her. And I was sleeping. I reached out to my friend Amma and I sent her a message. I was like, I needed to speak to her, and I sent her the test thingy. I sent it to her, and she called me almost immediately. And when she called me, we were both quiet on that call. When she eventually broke the silence, she was like, are you serious? I was like, yes. Like, I'm super serious. At that point, I felt like I needed someone to just tell me that it was going to be okay. So I went to working clinic, and then I told them, oh, I wanted to do like a pregnancy test. And then the result came out. Guess what this nurse told me? Like, I went in willingly with my legs. Not that they found out by mistake. Maybe when they were running like some tests for me, I told them, I think I might be pregnant and I want to run a test. This nurse came and said, like, to my face, she was like this close to my face and said, do you know you are pregnant? It was so funny. The thing that was very funny to me in this Canada was, like, I would say it's a culture shock, because when the doctor was ready to see me, the first question he asked me was, are you keeping it? I was like, oh my God, did they ask that? I got a requisition for blood work. I got a requisition for an ultrasound when I'm 8 weeks gone. So they booked me for an ultrasound for 8 weeks. And then I went in to do all my blood work. We knew that our lives, like my life, is about to change. New Year's came. We decided not to tell anybody. We wanted to like keep it to ourselves until we were sure that the pregnancy was viable. We went for New Year's at my sister-in-law's place and host everybody like for Thanksgiving Day, Christmas, New Year's, Family Day, and all of that. She likes to like cook for us, and everybody eats, and we even take away. It's been like a tradition since I came to Canada. I usually go to her house, I'll eat and pack. On this particular day, Ellen could not eat anything. Malt was the only thing I could take. We were saying, oh, we didn't want to tell anybody, but I'm sure they just knew that you're deceiving yourself. We know. I decided to do my ultrasound. This is like the first one to check if the pregnancy is viable. I'll tell you, the first trimester was the worst. I could not get myself to eat. I couldn't get myself to drink. I couldn't eat jollof rice. I couldn't eat rice. I couldn't eat rice for a long time. I couldn't drink water. And if I would drink a very little amount, it has to be iced, like super cold. And then I couldn't eat chicken, beef. I could eat fish sometimes, depending on kind of fish it is, but I could try to eat fish. It was just a disaster. I was always crying. I was always throwing up. You see that morning sickness that people say, oh, morning sickness. I feel like people don't talk about it enough. They'll tell you, oh, I have morning sickness. There's nothing morning about that sickness. That sickness is every time of the day. You're constantly nauseous. I was always having this very bad headache. It was terrible. To the point that on my birthday, I forgot to post myself. I was not just in the mood. I'm sure this was one thing that gave, just gave me out. It wasn't like I was hiding my pregnancy. Funny enough, I was not. I'm sure some people would assume that, oh, she's hiding her pregnancy. She don't want clinical. I'm sure anybody that could see very well could actually see that throughout that pregnancy, I did not hide anything. My nose was like this in your faces. My nose was big. You post faces. And I was posting my thing like that. Anybody that wants to guess should guess. Nothing will happen. That was the worst out of all the 3 trimesters for me. I was so sick that I lost so much weight. Second trimester came. I was getting better. I could eat better now. And then and before then, I and my husband already made plans that, oh, December of 2024, we'll go to Nigeria, since it's been 2 years since I've been in Canada, that we should go to Nigeria. So obviously the pregnancy changes everything. And we knew that by December of 2024, we would definitely have an infant, and there's no way we're traveling with a baby to Nigeria. So I told him that, why not go to Nigeria now? I don't regret it, because I could have easily gone somewhere else, because the money we spent going to Nigeria, I could have easily gone somewhere else. But I was like, I need to see my family members, because at some point I thought I was depressed. I feel like it was the pregnancy hormones. In fact, not like I feel like it was the pregnancy hormone. I saw my in-laws. I was just moving from places to places. It was really nice. I spent time with everybody I cared about. I saw my friends. We hung out. We had dinner dates. It was really nice. So I feel like that particular time in my pregnancy boosted my energy. It gave me like, if I feel like it renewed my energy, sort of. I felt better. When I came to Canada, I was very energized. It was, second trimester was very easy. It was so seamless. Everything was just so nice. I had my energy back. The morning sickness was gone. I could eat better. I was not heavy, because people say, oh, third trimester is bad. But I feel like third trimester is not so bad compared to first trimester, because obviously third trimester is just like common sense. You're going to be heavy. You're going to be more tired. There's the whole human being growing in you, because first trimester, it's really nothing. Second trimester, the baby is just starting to develop. Third trimester, there's a whole human being, because at this point you can actually even have a baby in your third trimester. So I'm like, it's just common sense. You're going to be tired. First trimester, I hated in my life, and it gave me PTSD. Moving to third trimester, everything was going on fine until 33 weeks, when I met my doctor, and she was like, oh, that we need to do another blood work, because she realized that she didn't request for one in my second trimester, because the last one I did was in my first trimester. That first blood work I did when we were trying to be sure that everything was good. She was like, oh, she realized that she has not requested for a new blood work that we need to do. So when the blood work came out, the result came out, she realized that I was anemic. It was really bad. And then she said, oh, I could not go on medications because you're in your third trimester. And let me tell you, people have their babies as early as 37 weeks. So it might not be efficient for you to do to take medications. That IV might be the best option. So they booked me for IV infusion. She said the hospital was going to reach out to me. The hospital eventually reached out to me on when I was 34 weeks pregnant. I started taking the IV at 34 weeks. So at that 33 weeks, requested for an ultrasound. I think I did. I think I requested for the ultrasound. I said I wanted to know if my baby was head down. So we did the ultrasound. And then when the result of the ultrasound came, thank God I requested, realized that my baby was big. And looking at me, like I was super skinny, nobody would expect that I would be able to carry such a big baby. So as at that 33 weeks, 34 weeks, my baby was already about 3.5 kg, 3.5 kg, and I was just 33 weeks gone. So she was like, oh, this baby is going to be big. When she told me that my baby was big, she said, oh, because most big babies, some big babies, super big babies, always end up having, experiencing something called shoulder dystocia. Dystocia. I hope I'm not, is it dystocia? It's dystocia. When, like, when they're coming out. So, and sometimes this can lead to loss of oxygen to the brain, and it can lead to several things like cerebral palsy and all of that stuff. And this thing scared me, and I just started telling myself that, see, if it has to be C-section, I'm open. I'm not one of those people that will say something like the Hebrew woman. CSO, normal child, as mother is alive and child is alive. I'm good. Anything to save my life and that of my baby. There's even this Nigerian online antenatal group I joined. I even paid for that class. So in that group, they'll tell you, oh, this is how you do portion control. This is how you get the baby out. There was nothing I did not do. I was eating pineapple every week. I was trekking from my house to, there's a particular, what they call that stuff, where babies can play. I would trek from my house. I would trek for like an hour, come back home, come and eat pineapple just to get my baby out early. So I did not know that I was trying to get my iron level up. I didn't know that what I was doing to get my iron level up was going to get my baby bigger. I was doing banana and spinach smoothie. Apparently, banana can make you gain weight. So all of that stuff. And the portion control thing that they said we should do. I was doing it, hoping that, okay, I was trying to take small oats in the morning without sugar, without milk, nothing like. I was trying to portion control. See that day when I ate oats in the morning, around, I think I had my first oat around 8 o'clock, around 10, I felt like I was going to die. See, I told myself, we live to see another day. I went to my regular food like this, I ate everything. I'm like, see, it is the person that is alive that will portion control, because me, I don't want to die. At 37 weeks anyway, my doctor requested for a new ultrasound, and we found out that my baby was about 3.8 kg at that point. Okay, that was when I lost it. I was like, nah, I need to get this baby out. So that I intensified everything I was doing. I was eating dates, I was drinking raspberry tea, I was trekking. I was taking walks like for long. And then 38 weeks, I went in for my, when you get to 36 weeks, you start going in weekly to see the doctor. So at 38 weeks, she said, that she was going to check if I was dilated at all. So maybe she can hasten things up and give me membrane sweep. So she was like, she can only give me membrane sweep if I'm already dilated at least 1 or 2 centimeters. By the time this woman checked, I was not dilated at all. 0 centimeter. Like my spirit was down, my energy was down, because I see a lot of women on TikTok talking about, I've been walking around 4 centimeters dilated since I was 34 weeks pregnant. I was like, why is my case different? They have to ripen my cervix first. The one where they insert the Foley catheter in you. That's inserting like a ball. They inflate it with a saline solution, and then it's gonna be in there inside your this thing until it comes out. That's the only way for you to get dilated. So she said the safest one is the Foley catheter. That's the Foley balloon. That's the safest one. So I opted for that one. And then on the day I hit 39 weeks, they called me. That was on a Sunday. We went into the hospital. They said, oh, I needed to ripen my cervix first. So they did that. If I tell you that this is the most painful thing you ever experienced in your life as a woman, after childbirth, this thing was painful. Hey, God. I spread your legs like this. You that you're even 0 centimeters dilated. And she said, when I'm ready, I should let her know. And then she said I should breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And then I was like, yeah, I'm ready. You see that thing? I never expected that kind of thing. She inserted it. I kept on shouting, stop, 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 stop. She said, oh, she cannot stop that. And then they left the ball in me and they told me that, oh, we can go home now. I think they call it outpatient kind of procedure. So I can go home. So she said it has to fall out, that once it falls out, we should give a call to the hospital and they'll book us to come in to the hospital. So we went home. Okay, they monitored us for about 2 hours. They monitored my baby's heart rate and my heart rate. No, not my heart rate. It's the baby's heart rate though. They were monitoring the baby's heart rate, took my vitals to be sure that I'm okay. And after the 2 hours, they told us to go home. Went home to pack our bags because obviously this is the time. The time is here. There's no going back from this moment because you know that once this Foley comes out, we're heading to the hospital and obviously we're going to have the baby. Like, what if we're unable to have the baby vaginally? What if we have to go through the C-section route? So we packed as if we were going to have a C-section, hoping that we're able to have the baby vaginally. You know the way docs work like this. That was the way I was working with the Foley in me, because you know the ball is in there and then the rest of the catheter, I don't know, like people in the medical field should be able to know, like not should be able to, they know what this is, but I don't know how to explain to like the common people like me. It's attached, it is inside, a part of it is inside of you like a ball, and it has like something inside of it, and then they attach the remaining tubes to your legs. So there's some part of it is in there. You're not trying to walk too, like you're trying to be careful so it doesn't come off. You don't want to put too much pressure so it doesn't come out of you. Just waiting for it to fall off. So at some point I was like, oh, I need to pee. I went to the bathroom. And before I even sat down, this thing just fell off. I told my husband, oh, it has fallen. Then he called the hospital. He called the hospital and he said, oh, they're waiting for us. They'll be setting up my room for me right away. So we packed our bags. I ate my rice, like, because I knew that, because I've seen so many people's videos about they were not able to eat anything while they were in labor. They were only drinking water. I've even seen videos of people's lips dried like this. I'm like, no, me, I want to eat too. We ordered rice from Nigerian jollof. Like, I need to eat this one so that my the stomach is already big, safe, so nobody's gonna know. So I ate very well, and then we headed to the hospital. We got to the hospital around 1 on this day, and we checked into the room, the labor room. They gave me like a rope to chain into. You know those ropes with the open back. Then they hooked me to the IV. They hooked me onto something that was just to keep me hydrated. They told me, okay, you're about to start the Pitocin. The Pitocin is a synthetic oxytocin. So that is supposed to, since now I'm dilated, about 1 or 2 centimeters gone. We already did the cervix ripening, right? So now I can go on Pitocin to help my body contract. You know, something you could have done over time, like a period of, let's say, 3 weeks, 1 month. You're supposed to be dilating like slowly, slowly, slowly. It forces your body to do it in the space of hours. So imagine how painful that is. That was super painful. So they started with like small doses, and then they started increasing. And then at some point, the nurse came, the child nurse came and said, oh, will you be taking the epidural? I was like, no, I don't want to take epidural. Because I've heard so many people's stories about, oh, after taking the epidural, they started having back pain and all of that stuff. I'm like, no, I'm going to do this. I can't do it. I said I was not going to take the epidural. So the anesthesiologist came at some point, asked me that, would you like to take it? I hope I pronounced that right. Would you like to take the epidural? I said, no, I'm not taking it. She said, oh, that If I don't take it now, that she's going into surgery, and it's gonna be after she's done with the surgery. So by then, my pain level might have skyrocketed. That so it's either I take it now or never. So I said, oh, I don't want to take it yet. I don't want to take it now. I'm gonna wait it out and take it later. Tell me why after this doctor left, I started, the pain just intensified, and it was so painful. It was so bad that I started begging them, please help me to call the doctor. I want to take it now. I cannot take this pain anymore. Ah. And then you people that always talk about only how big the needle is, you people don't talk about how painful the procedure is, like taking the epidural. It is actually really painful. It felt like they were stabbing my bone, like my spine. It felt like they were stabbing me non-stop in my spine. It was super painful. I did not like it. And then you're going through contractions, and then they expect you to stay still and then arch your back at the same time. And I will not even lie to you. After I took the epidural, I started shaking. I don't know why, but I had these shakes. I couldn't control it. My lips were shaking, my teeth, everything was shaking. I started shaking. I don't know what was in that thing, but I could not even stop the shakes. I could not help it. Came, told me to bend like this. We waited my contraction out. It's like I was going through one of those contractions, so we waited for it to go. And then she started giving it to me. And you know, when you get the epidural, it means that you're not going to leave the bed. You're going to be there. You're going to pee there, do all your business there, because you're going to get the catheter. And with the epidural, you won't be able to feel your legs down. I mean, from your waist down to your legs, you can't feel nothing. So it means that you're going to be stuck in that bed. But I was stuck at 4 centimeters, meaning I could go another day without having my baby yet. So she said she was going to check back again. And then she came back around, let's say 3 a.m. And I was 5 centimeters dilated, I think. And she was like, I don't think you're getting enough contractions. That she needs to monitor my contraction. So there was this thing that they inserted into my cervix to how strong my contractions were. It is called the intrauterine pressure catheter. Inserted that, and the doctor came in and said, oh, that you are actually not getting enough contractions to get you dilated, but she would monitor. Like, so much was just going on, and I was kind of over everything. And then when they monitored, they realized I wasn't getting enough, and they kept on increasing the dosage of the pitocin. I was just in so much pain. This was causing me so much pain, and it wasn't doing anything for me. The doctor came in and checked again, and she was like, see, I know that, yes, she wasn't trying to make any decision for me. She wasn't trying to make decisions for me, but deep down in my heart, I was kind of already sensing that I might have to go through the C-section route, because she said, your baby is still all up there. Your baby hasn't even come down to the birth canal at all. So the way she said my baby is a big baby, and it is obvious that that's one of the reasons why my baby is not coming down. I suggested an induction, because I obviously do not want my baby to get bigger, so I will not have to do a C-section, or my baby, so that my baby doesn't get stuck because she's bigger. But now that she's not even coming down, I just sense that I think this baby is super big, and she might eventually have that thing. And you know the way the shoulder dystocia thing is, like, I've seen a case where a woman's baby got deprived of oxygen because it was too late. The baby got stuck, and then oxygen wasn't getting to the brain, and then the baby ended up having cerebral palsy. So I was like, you know what? I told her that, see, if by morning I'm not 7 or 8 centimeters dilated, that I would opt for a C-section. I prefer to do a C-section. So she was like, okay, no problem. So she came in the morning, and then I told them to take me off the pitocin. I was done. So in the morning, I told them, oh, I want the procedure for the C-section. They gave my husband a document to fill. We signed everything we're supposed to sign. And then the doctors came in, they introduced themselves. Everybody that was going to be partaking in the surgery came, introduced themselves. They gave my husband what he was going to wear. They gave him like a scrub and something to cover his head. Gave him that, and And bear in mind, I had not eaten anything since like the day before. So I was tired, my mouth was dry, I was just drinking water. I was even tired of drinking water or juice. I just wanted all of this to end. It was time for me to get prepped for the OR. The child nurse came in, put me on the bed. She transferred me to the bed that had a wheel so she could push me, so they could push me to the OR. That was when she discovered that the line or the tube that connects my back and the epidural was disconnected. That was when I realized that I didn't even know that anything had happened. My husband did not even know because we were just prepping to go to the OR. And then we doctors and nurses were just rushing into my room. You know that very dramatic scene in movies when they'll come in and say, oh, you have to make a decision ASAP. Like they give you so many tough decisions to make within minutes and you have to come up with one decision. And then they told us that, oh, the stuff connecting my spine and the epidural got disconnected. It might be infected already. My spine, something might have gone in my spine. Say what? As I heard that one like this, I was like, that people are not joking. Hope you are not saying that I've lost my legs like this. I know that with the epidural, you can't feel your legs. So I was not even sure if I still had my legs or my... Please don't tell me that I'm going to be living in a wheelchair because I had a baby. I just started shouting, am I going to be paralyzed? Am I paralyzed? It was so dramatic. I was like, am I paralyzed? Please, please tell me, am I paralyzed? The anesthesiologist, anesthesiologist now told me, she said, oh, that's, no, you're not paralyzed. But if anything had gone in your spine, that we would not know until you're like 5 months postpartum and you might need a surgery. I said, stay waiting. Surgery will. Ha. I was like, no. They were not like, okay, but we have 3 decisions to be able to even do the C-section. That either they start the epidural all over again, take this old one off and do it all over again. Or 2, I would use that old one like that. It's risky. Or the third one, I've forgotten what the third option was. My husband, I was like, I want my husband to make the decision. I was like, first things first. You see that first option that you gave? Cancel it. Because there's no way this girl is going through what she went through the other time again. So it's not like, how can you guys make this one work? The one already on her back. How can you guys make it work? So it's spinal in the epidural line. I don't know if that's what it's called. Yeah, spinal. And then it felt so cold, like my whole back was cold. You know when they pour you cold water on your back? That was how I felt. And then they wheeled me into the OR. I didn't see my husband again. I kept on asking, where's my husband? He said he's coming. In my mind, I'm like, I bet these people are deceiving me. I want my husband. They transferred me to the bed. And then they put like a drape over my body. It was dividing my head from my waist down to my legs. It was on the other side with the doctors. My chest area to my head was at the other side. Then I saw my husband coming. My husband, they gave my husband his stool and he sat behind me, like somewhere around my head area. And then the anesthesiologist was above my head, giving me all kinds of stuff. I got into the OR and the surgery started. So before they started the surgery, they actually asked me, oh, they were like poking me with different things, asking me, oh, can you feel it? And one thing about me, I'll ask questions. When the anesthesiologist was giving me those things, she gave me antibiotics, and then I think she was increasing the dosage of the spinal she gave me. As they were poking me with that stuff, they were asking me, can you feel it? Can you feel it? I said, I can't feel it. They said, oh, you're supposed to feel it, but not painful. In my head, I'm like, are you sure lupus kind of feeling it is the kind of feeling that me I'm supposed to be feeling like this? Because me, I'm feeling this, they started the surgery. Next thing, this thing felt like, when they are pouring, because what I read about is that you're supposed to just feel like tugging and all of that, like somebody's tugging at you. For me, I was feeling like, when you pour pepper on an open wound, that was exactly how I felt. I was complaining. And at this, I was still shaking from the epidural and the spine and everything. I kept on asking, I can feel this thing. I can feel this thing. Next thing, the anesthesiologist said, I have to go do the general anesthesia thing. I said, nope, there's no way I'm sleeping. I'm not sleeping. That is scary. I've read so many horror stories. I said, no, I'm not sleeping. I'm not going to sleep. No way. She said, okay, but there's nothing that she can give me, because I wanted to be sure that that was actually right. And I realized that, okay, that she couldn't have probably given me something else apart from the spinal that she already gave me, because it could affect me, affect my breathing and all of that stuff. And there was even something that happened before the surgery. I don't even want to know if I'm the only one that's had this traumatic experience during the C-section, but my jaw was locking. While we were getting the surgery done, they had to put cubes, like ice cubes, in my mouth or my tongue to hydrate my. And obviously, you can't drink while the surgery is going on. So they were putting ice cubes in my mouth that would help my jaw was locking. I was scared. Coupled with the fact that I was feeling that pain, I just kept on crying. I was telling my husband, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. He was reading my Psalms to me. He was reading it to me that I'm going to live. I'm going to be the mother of my baby. That I've come too far to not even be here for my baby. Oh my God. It was such an experience. I don't know, mothers are not celebrated enough. Now I understand why we have like 20 Mother's Day in a year. I understand now. Now I understand. Once you go through this experience, you will not even question why we get like 17 Mother's Day in a year, because they deserve everything they get. They are not even giving their flowers enough. So after my baby came out, the moment I heard her cry, oh my God. I told you that when we were packing our bags, everything felt real, that, oh, so now we're having a baby and all of that. When I heard my baby's cry, I cried. I cried like a baby. I was like, oh my God, she's here. She's here. She's finally here. She's real. She's actually a real Ellen or mom. That was like the moment I realized that, okay, everything has changed. My whole life just changed. Opening me up and bringing out the baby took probably 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I don't think it was up to 15 minutes, like 10 minutes. Stitching me back. And I told you that my spinal failed. Whatever they gave me, plus the epidural, everything failed completely. I was feeling as they were stitching me. I was screaming. The only option was for me to go to sleep. And I said, no, I was not going to sleep. So I felt them stitching me. I still have videos of me crying. Well, they were stitching me. I was crying. My husband was holding on to me. I just needed to be strong, because I knew that the hardest part was done. The hardest part was delivering this baby healthy. This baby is fine, and I have to be strong for myself and the baby. So, oh my God, like I kept on asking my OB, because my OB was right there with the doctor that was doing the surgery. I kept on asking her, how many minutes more? Please tell me you're almost done stitching me up. She said, oh, we're almost done. It remaining 5 minutes. She was just reassuring me. And then when they finished teaching me, she was like, congratulations, I'm proud of you. Like, oh my God. And then all of that, cleaned my baby up, wrapped my baby, gave her to me, transferred me to the bed, and they wheeled me out of the OR. And then they took us to the recovery room where they were checking my vitals, trying to get my baby to latch. And yeah, that was pretty much everything. And that was when we now told our family. My husband told his family, and then I told my mom, my siblings, and I called a couple of my friends. I'll see if I can insert some of the videos where I called some of my friends to show them that I had my baby. Nobody knew. Like, literally did not tell anybody that we were going, oh, I was in the hospital. I was even sending streaks to my friends rather, that like the day before. I was sending streaks to them. They were thinking everything, because I didn't just want to bother anybody. I didn't want I didn't want anyone to put too much pressure on me. Like, should it be more? I should give him birth and all of that. And also didn't want them to worry as well. So yeah, because they were like, we were going to be getting so many calls. So why not save everything for when the baby is here? So that was pretty much everything. So how much did it cost to have my baby? Zero. Okay, I'll say $23, because we had to pay for packing, from the blood works that I did, all the labs, to to seeing the doctor every week or every 2 weeks was free. Labs were free. Ultrasounds were free. The OB was free. Hospital, the labor room free. The private room after having your baby, your actual room was free. It wasn't free because if you don't have insurance, you have to cover that out of pocket. But my husband's work insurance covered that. I stayed in a private room and my husband's insurance covered that. So, oh yeah, that was pretty much everything. So we only had to pay for parking. In fact, there is free parking, but just because we knew that we're going to be there for more than a day or 2 days, just for the safety of the car, so we had to do the paid parking. So that's pretty much everything. That was how much I paid for having my baby as a PR in Canada, and that's my experience. The journey of 39 weeks summed up in less than an hour. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give my video a thumbs up. And yeah, I'm back finally on YouTube now, and I'll be posting videos every Sunday. If you like any kind of video, if you want any kind of video, you can just drop whatever you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.